Hey folks, Dan Frio here with your closing bell for November 14th, 2025. So mortgage rates, they jumped a little bit today. The big news everywhere is the Federal Reserve. Is the Federal Reserve going to cut? Are they not going to cut? So in today's video, that's where our main focus is going to be, because we have mortgage rates up today, we have the stock market down, and we also have me in the news. So check out this week, I was on News Nation, NBC, and even on The Hill talking about that 50-year mortgage, and my fame lasted as long as that 50-year mortgage did. So folks, my name is Dan Frio. I come in each day to explain to you guys what in the heck's going on with those and the whys behind it. So today, we're going to talk what the Federal Reserve is going to do at the next meeting. Now, the Federal Reserve doesn't control mortgage rates. Hopefully you understand that. So why do we care about them? Well, let's get over to here real quick. The Federal Reserve, they're coming out in 26 days, and the market was expecting them to cut rates. But if the Federal Reserve is not really relevant, why do we care on what they do? Well, what we care about what they do is because they focus basically on the same thing that the markets focus in on. So the Federal Reserve, they were actually created in 1913 to stabilize the financial markets. They had two mandates. Those mandates were right down through here. It was basically to keep inflation in check. That's what we see right through there. And also to keep employment at its maximum, whatever they deem it maximum, but it is under 5%. So that's what their goals are. So here's the problem that we face in today's market right through here. The Federal Reserve, this rate right through here, that's the rate that they control, but they told us that they were going to be cutting this more this year. So what's going on behind the scenes? Well, let me help you out here. If you're a homeowner, home buyer, you're probably trying to figure out, or at least tagging or monitoring interest rates or mortgage rates on a daily basis. You're trying to figure out that perfect time to maybe buy that house or maybe to refinance. If you're looking to refinance at some point and you really want our help and you want us to track this for you, here's what you could do. The Rate Watch tool right up through there, I created this thing. What I need you to do is just put in your information, let me know what rate you'd be interested in refinancing, and we'll reach out to you at that time. We'll go over the new payment, what the costs are, and what your break-even point. If it works, we'll get the paperwork started, and we'll take it from there. But here's what's most likely going to happen at the next few meetings. So here's what's freaking out the markets, right through here. This is what's called the dot plot. Now, what the dot plot is 4 times a year when the Federal Reserve meets, they put a dot in this plotting area right through here. So what this is where they told us 2025 would be. And that number right through here, if you scan in, is looking between 3.5 and 3.75. That's where the Federal Reserve themselves told us that they would have interest rates by the end of the year. Well, the problem is when they meet in 26 days, the rate right now is 3.75 to 4, and they're not supposed to be cutting. And I'm going to go over each one of the officials and where they're most likely going to vote. So let's get over to this thing to see, are they going to vote yes or no? And then the conclusion of this is ultimately going to tell you why mortgage rates are basically doing what they're doing and why the market's pulling back at this time. So let's get over to it. So here's the most likely outcome of the next Fed meeting. So here's what we're looking at. Stephen Myron. He is actually the Fed official that the President Trump brought in right before 2 meetings ago, and he actually voted for 5 rate cuts at one meeting. So we're going to just discount him for now. Christopher Waller, he and Michelle Bowman, they're trying to become the next Fed official, so they're going to vote for rate cuts. John Williams, he's most likely going to vote for a rate cut as well. Now, let's get over to the other officials through here. We have Jerome Powell. He's the Fed president. He's going to say no. Just because, I think. Lisa Cook, this is the person that the president was trying to get fired. She's probably, she's undecided, but I'm also going to say she's on a hold pattern as well. Jefferson, Barr, Goolsbee are all most likely the same tune. They're going to hold rates because they just don't have enough data. So now we have Susan Collins, Musalam, and Schmidt saying that they're going to vote no cuts at all. So what does that mean? Well, it means out of 12 members, only 4 want rate cuts. So that means the dot plot that they provided us isn't any good. So now the markets have to say, and they have to recalibrate. So now you're seeing stocks saying, okay, the rates aren't going to come down. Now we have to recalibrate how that's going to affect the markets. You have a lot of AI right now on its technicals, and that's kind of popping right now as well. And then you have at the next Fed meeting that they're not going to cut. So now the bond market's saying, okay, now what do we do? Well, now you're starting to have some more and more pressure on the bond market. So to monitor that, what I do on a daily basis is right through here. I follow the MBS market. What the MBS market is the mortgage bond. But Most people don't have access to this. So let's get over and look at the 10-year Treasury because you have access to this 24/7. Let me show you how they basically correlate. So the mortgage bond, what it's saying, it's down 2 ticks on the day, meaning the price of the bond is down. Well, if you know anything about bonds, if a price of a bond is down, that means rates are going up. Well, on the flip side over through here, we have the 10-year Treasury. Why people monitor this if they don't have access to the MBS market is because it's kind of doing the same thing. So if you really want to focus in on what's going on with mortgage rates, you don't have access to the mortgage bonds, or you're just like, okay, I just want to just figure out generically what's going on, follow the 10-year Treasury. That'll give you a good direction on what's going on there. And then last but not least, how do you understand mortgage rates? So this is for those out there that are monitoring mortgage rates. You might be looking to buy, you might be looking to refinance, maybe you're looking to build, and you pull up interest rates. Okay, it's like, okay, who's got the lowest rates and lowest fees? And then you start getting stuff like this. Okay, so today what I did is I ran and said, okay, give me multiple 30-year fixed rates and then just give me rates from everybody else. So here's what it did. It pulled 3 rates, 3 30-year fixed rates, and here's where they are. Mortgage News Daily is right there. Bank Rates is right through there. And then Forbes is over through here. So you're seeing these and saying, well, why would I even bother with anybody else? I'll go straight to Bank Rate. Well, folks, that's an ad. You really don't know what this rate is because what credit score is required for that? What's the loan to value? Which you don't know. So how's the best way to figure out what you qualify for? Let's go right to here. Go to the rate update, folks. We can give this to you and provide you this information within hours. If you're looking for a rate on a refinance, give us a call. Schedule in the Rate Watch tool. If you're looking to buy and you're like, okay, I really need to track rates, my slogan here is one application, one credit pool. We're going to compare your mortgage rate with over 30 different lenders. How do we do this? Now, let me explain it to you. I am federally licensed loan officer. I'm licensed in all 50 states as well as Puerto Rico because the bank I work at provides me that license. The bank I work at also is set up with over 30 other lenders. And the reason why they did that is when we have consumers call in, we want to be competitive. We want to win your business. So why else than let us do all the comparing for you? So we're going to compare your mortgage offer with over 30 different lenders, and you can work with me during this whole time. How do you check it out? Well, just go to therateupdate.com. You can call us, schedule an appointment, even ask Dan right above my head. We can't make it any easier than that. And the whole goal for me when I come out each day, folks, when you're watching me, if you're a realtor, you're a loan officer, you're a consumer looking to buy or refinance, my whole goal each day is to help you understand what the heck's going on with those and the whys behind it. So if you really want to learn more about this, subscribe down over there because every day I post a video, hopefully making it more understandable for you to understand what's going on with these and why. Love to work with you, folks. So if you're out there and need some help, love to help you. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you back here on Monday to see how these react next week. There's a lot of information hopefully coming down the pike now that the federal government's open. So see you next time.